The Atlanta Federal Reserve is predicting a substantial decrease in the estimated GDP growth in Q1 2025. For the first time in a long time, they are projecting negative growth. Not just a small amount either, but a negative 1.5%. A 3.6% dip from what the line is held steady at for a time now. Incredible stuff. 1.5 is bad. Negative 1.5 is pretty bad. Yeah, that's a recession, buddy. We're receding. They recently updated it. Here, let me get the article. They recently updated it. Like, it's been getting more and more negative with time. Projections a significant shift for the Atlanta Fed. The Atlanta Fed last week was predicting 2.3% positive growth for the first quarter. A month ago, it was registering 3.9% growth. It's okay when GDP goes down, so does egg prices. I am economics. True, that's true. That's true. It's officially a recession if it happens for 2 quarters. Yeah, but going from a registered 3.9% growth to a predicted 2.3% to a predicted minus 1.5% is a shift down like 5 percentage points over the course of a single quarter. Remarkable. That's a leap. Yeah, pretty big one. Can you link this in chat? You can just Google it. Link this in chat. Hey, Teach, I know 10,000 people are watching, but can you, like, link the easily accessible information that you could get by Googling it into chat? Consumer sentiment also fell off a cliff, dropping nearly 10 points from January. Jesus. It's gonna happen, man. These early signs of weakening confidence could lead the U.S. administration to adopt a more considerate approach to spending cuts and tariffs. Why would Biden do this? We had everything, you stupid piece of shit. We had it all, but you had to go and fuck it up. You with your tariffs and your pride and your ego. Let's see if I can find the, here we go. The actual source itself. I mean, they did literally say they wanted to reduce aggregate demand, which that is what we're looking at. Reduced economic transactions, that's a recession. You know, that leads to a drop in GDP. Such a stupid system. Why can't it just be, we have enough bread? Guys, we have enough bread. We made enough bread that everyone can get bread. But no, you gotta it up. The nowcast of the contribution of net exports to first quarter real GDP growth fell from negative 0.41 percentage points to negative 3.7 percentage points. The nowcast of first quarter real personal consumption expenditures growth fell from 2.3 to 1.3%. Well, we'll see how it goes. We know for a fact that the administration's been gunning for this, so, you know, what's the point though? Devaluing of the U.S. currency to empower our exports. All the CEO types are regretting their vote. Now, this is some unambiguously funny stove touching. A difficult time to invest. Everyone's paralyzed. I'm sorry I can't be particularly positive. The chaos that is reigning right now is causing everyone to sit on their hands. That's Citadel CEO Ken Griffin, ON Semiconductor CEO Hussein El-Khoury, Franklin Templeton CEO Jenny Johnson, and NASDAQ private market CEO Tom Callahan on the world of Donald Trump right now. Their comments over the past week capture a growing disquiet among business leaders a month into a presidency that many of them had cheered. Who could have seen this coming? It is good to be reminded over and over and over and over and over again that the world is not a meritocracy, and oftentimes the people on top are complete retards. It is important to remember that. Like, these, you know, sniffing deadbeat dads who go out there and, you know, their sleepless nights are not from work but from partying, you know, and then they LARP to the media about how they're like business moguls with a, you know, higher sensibility when it comes to investment, and then it turns out like, no, they're just regular people but more arrogant, which makes them more stupid. Tesla's already tanking in Europe. Brother, it's tanking here. Can you please explain how they could support the train wreck that is Trump? I'm not a mind reader. What do you mean? Could I explain how they think? Go ask them. Do you think there's a chance of impeachment? No. Oh, 2008 looms, paragraph 6 to 7. Don't make me read things. Trump may have found a way to force U.S. Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Remember, I'm an accelerationist now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fiscal and monetary policy may now be set to trade places. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the administration wants to trim the deficit to 3% of GDP. Find 1 trillion in spending cuts. Signs that effect are accumulating. Consumer sentiment declined in January for the first time in 6 months. Bloomberg U.S. Financial Conditions Index has tumbled 37% in the last 2 weeks, implying economic activity is slowing. The Atlanta Fed's estimate of annualizing real GDP growth in the first quarter has been cut nearly in half, from 2.3% to closer to 4% a month ago. The yield on 10-year treasuries has dropped 50 basis points. Omen of looming recession. A slowdown, particularly one accompanied by a weaker labor market, would most likely prompt the Fed to lower rates. It's hard to see the central bank easing otherwise, but inflation's on the way up already. The latest read of core personal consumption expenditures, the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, came in at 2.8% year over year in December, which is still uncomfortably higher than the 2% target. As long as the economy is growing, keeping a lid on historically low unemployment, the Fed can delay rate cuts until inflation is tamed. By cutting spending, however, Trump may force monetary easing to support fiscal austerity rather than the other way around. It doesn't even matter if Trump's spending cuts cause the economy to slow. As long as those cuts or the threat of them coincide with the slowdown, the Fed will likely act. How would this allow them? How would this allow Trump to force these interest rate cuts, though? We getting stagflation, boys? We're for sure getting stagflation. Stagflation is the worst case scenario, right? Well, my thought is, and I could be wrong, my thinking here is that it won't be enough. The Fed could cut the interest rate down to 2%, make it 1.8%. I don't know. They can cut it, but make it really easy to borrow money. I don't think they could do that enough to compensate for the decreased economic activity, which will be caused by the inflation, which will be caused by the tariffs. Like, the consumer confidence would decrease beyond the point where because the Fed cutting rates has like a disproportionate effect on the economic activity of people who are wealthy enough to frequently borrow. You're not borrowing money that much, except for with your credit card, but that's not what we're talking about. When you're poor or middle income or whatever, right? We're mostly talking about people on the upper crust. But their hyperactivity compared to like lower activity on the ground, what's going to happen when all those fucking Q2 earning reports come in? And then it's like, oh, yeah, the upper crust, they were borrowing like crazy because Trump cut the Fed to like 1.8% or whatever. But on the bottom, it turns out no one's buying shit because none of them were basing their consumer confidence off of, the interest rate. You understand what I'm talking about? People who are more economically minded than me, like I'm right on this, right? Like cutting this won't fit. Not only will inflation go up, but cutting the interest rate won't fundamentally affect the underlying, like the inflation will exceed the benefits that you could receive from such. Yes, you're correct. All right, well that's good. I mean, it's bad, but it's it's very bad. But that's good. All I'm hearing is buy the dip. Oh, sure. When the dip comes, buy the dip, bro. You finna die. Oh man. Just make sure to distribute your savings accounts between banks. So when you do a bank run, it's less likely that all of your shit you get the uninsured deposit because the government becomes insolvent or whatever. How long until they cancel FDIC insurance? They literally have tried to do that. VGG subs are always valuable. That's true. That's true. That's true. VGG subs actually appreciate over time. This is not financial advice. Hedge funds and tech are panicking in the US. Hedge funds are rushing to the exit at nearly a record pace. Hedge funds have been selling US tech stocks in February at the fastest rate since the 2021 meme stock craziness. Over the last 5 days alone, they've reduced their exposure at the second highest pace in 4 years. How much in a relative sense? This might not mean anything. This might not mean anything. This could be a bubble pop, or this could be like, just like a blip. I don't really know. Warren Buffett sold his S&P shares. Wait, is that true? Oh no. Wait. Warren Buffett makes stunning move by selling S&P 500 funds he told everyone to buy. Uh-oh. Might want to update edit title of previous YouTube investment advice video. Outdated. Upload new video. So guys, I have some new news. This is misleading. Holdings were under 0.1% of Berkshire. Says he has no ETF holdings. I mean, if he's selling, that means there's more supply and that means they're cheaper, so I should buy them right away. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Don't do that. This is not financial advice. Well, we'll see how things go, I guess. If I recall correctly, he's been selling US assets and moving them to Japan. I mean, unironically, and this is, again, not financial advice, but the way things are going, it really does make me wonder if, like, moving, like, for people who have the money to move it around, you know? For me specifically, moving out of USD and into, like, the euro, you know? I don't know. Like, I cannot imagine... I genuinely can't imagine that we're not going to see at least like 8% year-over-year inflation at some monthly peak at some point during this year. Like, I would be surprised if we didn't hit 8 at some point, you know? The problem is the US being the reserve currency in our global economy. Yeah, you kind of can't escape it. Unless, I don't know, what's one currency that is completely untouched by US economy? It was North Korean. Guys, I'm going all in. The Hermit Kingdom... They're gonna hold on to my they're gonna hold on to my savings. V-Bucks? They keep raising the cost of a Twitch subscription. What if I like invested in lots of Twitch subscriptions and then pull them back out once we're, you know, on the other side? Invest in shekels? Unironically, that might be. I don't know. Is the US dollar in danger of tanking? I mean, it seems like inflation's probably gonna go up. Seems pretty likely. We might get a stagflation moment, just a little bit. Can't really say. Invest in bean coin and rice coin. I need to mint that shit to the moon. Invest in furry art. I don't have that much money. Estimated time on the collapse, dude. I don't know. I will say though, the business today with Ukraine is going to advance it quite a bit. It's going to make it a lot worse. Why would, like, the more instability we project globally, the less likely our allies and trading partners are to meaningfully invest in us or to like keep holdings in USD. Like, we are essentially encouraging an increase in multipolarity, and that is going to mean, like, Donald Trump literally said the European Union is an adversarial entity to the United States, which is the most insane shit I've ever heard in my life. That's not even like Russian propaganda. It's insane. Insane thing to say. So, like, yeah, they're basically like, we are preparing the European Union to be a separate economic bloc. We are like warning them, basically. Even worse, he said it was created to screw over America. It was pretty wild. Yeah. Oligarchs are against anything that threatens their power. EU sides with consumers a lot. Yeah, I can't believe I'm in this position because I'm not really a huge EU stan, mostly because it's like, you know, dickless technocratic liberalism, but I am like the EU's strongest soldier now, I guess. Like, it seems like that's kind of the they seem like they're kind of the bulwark, you know? Chinese markets are slumping now too. Makes sense. We're tariffing them and we look like we're going to keep doing it. We'll see how things go.